Why, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I am your hosting guide, Zollin Ironshield, and today I want to show you a trick, a fair trick, on getting more than the limit of houses you could have in LOTRO, okay? So I would love it if Standing Stones would let you be able to get more houses in different neighborhoods, like one per neighborhood, whether it be a regular or deluxe house. Right now, what you can do as a character is technically you can have an unlimited amount of kinship houses because basically one character can make a kinship, and after that 7 or 8 month of real-time period, once you hit rank 7 kinship, you can purchase a kinship house. But that's very expensive, and what if you just want to have a little regular house in every neighborhood, because you'd like one in the Shire, and you want one in the Dwarf Realm, and you want one in the Rohan, and on and on. This goes the same with deluxe and regular homesteads, okay? There's two kinds of homesteads. You all know that, I'm sure, if you're watching this video. But basically, if we open our character up here, character inventory, we don't want to open him up. We're not dissecting my wonderful, awesome character here. So we go into here and go to our housing, right? And you bring up this is in the character tab, right, with C. You go to your housing tab there at the bottom. And as you can see, there are 3 houses technically that I can have on my account. So every account can have a regular home, whether it be a deluxe regular home, let's not get these confused, or a standard home, right? Standard homes are the real small ones in any of the classic 4-star homesteads: Mickledelving, Thorin's Hall, Kellendim, and Bree, the Breetown homestead, okay? So those are the classic ones. You can have one house there, and your account can also have one deluxe house, and that can be the one premium house, and there is a standard premium and a deluxe premium, but they're both better than the other ones. And there are quite a few homesteads with that, right? There's the Cape of Belfast, there is 2 Rohan ones, there's Erebor, and then we also have the new one coming out that is in the Vales of Anduin, or it's out right around the same time as this video. So what if you want to have one in every single thing? If you're hard enough core to follow the things I'm about to show you, you can technically do it. You'd have to be a really hardcore player who makes a decent amount of, plays the game a lot, has a decent amount of income, because every house does cost upkeep. And yes, it will start, put your house on escrow or whatever, and then send your stuff back to your character, whoever character bought it, and open it if you don't pay for it, obviously. Everyone should know that part of this. You can go watch my whole housing video. I have a whole housing video. If you want information about just a normal getting a house on your account, go watch that video. It's a much better video for that. This is if you want to have multiple houses besides the 3 you can have. So again, there is the regular one. This account has a regular one in the Thorin's Hall homestead. I can only have one on this account on this server, okay? Technically it's every server, but really you're gonna want it on the same world, right? So you can have multiple with the same characters. And you can have, and then I have 1 deluxe, and then I obviously own our kinship house because I'm the leader of Voice of the Rings kinship, right? So those are the 3 homes that I can technically have on this account. I can't get any more. But there is a trick to getting more that is totally fair, and there's nothing wrong with doing it. It's just gonna be a lot more work for you. You make another account, all right? So let's pop over here to Zollin for a moment. This is my other character. He is not on my same account. Zollin is on a different account. That's why they can be logged in at the same time. And he has, if we open his character thing at home, he has 2 different homes as well. He is in the Voice of the Rings kinship, so he has a kinship house being the same one that Zollin is in charge of. And then he has a different deluxe home that's in Breeland instead of Thorin Hall's homestead, okay? And here's the trick, though, my friends. Here's the trick. Technically, I let Zollin use this house because really I don't play very much on Zollin except for when I need him on the side for different tests of things, or I'm just using him to do stuff, duo things with my 2 characters. I have a whole video on that if you want to look at that. But realistically, you should really stick to 1 account playing. Honestly, it's just more fun. Believe me, I've tried playing 2 characters at once. It's a lot of work. It can be a little fun challenge sometimes, but it's a lot of work. So basically what I do is I go in here, we open up our maintenance, which is up there on the radar, or when you click your house and character, you can go down to the bottom down there, on this tab and click maintenance. It's the same, it's the same buttons as here. So these are just 2 different tabs you can get to it. So the maintenance, abandoned, and permissions are there, or on this tab on the radar. Okay, those are the 2 ways you can get to it. Another little side note, by the way, is that I will talk about, let's get to that in a second. I won't confuse you. So you go into here, you go into permissions, you add a character, right? So you have your your character in your alt account, you got to level them up first. And then what you could do is you could send them some of your gold to purchase it. They're just literally going to be a character to hold your house, right? So your other character can use it. And then you could have multiple homes and be able to tour around your houses kind of thing. And again, this is totally fair to do. There's nothing wrong with doing this. And realistically, I'd probably only do this with 1 or 2 characters, guys. Because people were asking me, they really wanted to have multiple homes. Standing stones, I really think you should just make it where an account can have more than 1 home. Maybe make it where everyone can have, you know, a limit of 4 houses, regular ones. So, you know, everyone could have 1 house and a thing. And maybe make it where you can only have 1 house per neighborhood. Like, that's the way you keep it from people just, you know, buying up a bunch of houses in one spot. You know? I think that would probably be a fair way to do it. Anyway, side note for Standing Stones, if they want to check into this, I think it would be a cool idea. People have been asking this for a long time. So anyway, back to how you do it here. So you'd send the money. A Zollin would, you know, get on my mail, and I would send him enough money to buy the house, the character, and then the character would go and buy the house like normal. Go watch my video on how to get your house set up and buy it. And then you can then add your permission here, put in your character's name. Again, I already did it, Zollin. Then this is going to pop up, and then just tick every single permission on for your main character, apply, and then you're good. You can log out of this character. And then Zollin, all right? Zollin, now again, here's what I was going to go. Let me go back to what I was going to say. On this little housing thing, these little arrows are your milestone skills. You get an automatic one on every account for your kinship home, whatever kinship you're in on that character, your house you own for that account on that character, and also your one for your premium house if you have that. Again, those are the 3 most you can have on one account. Your own house in the regular homesteads, your premium house in one of the premium homesteads, and whatever kinship you're in. Those are the 3 teleports you have, the 3 houses you can use, okay? So what you have to do now is you need to have a milestone skill, all right? So now that your character's bought it and giving you permissions to go over there to use it from the other account, now you just need to have a milestone skill. You can get a milestone skill in the store or whatever, and then you'll need to take yourself to that homestead, okay? This is how you're going to have to do it. So there's always a little fire outside the homestead. So LOTRO's done it where you can still do this, obviously. They thought about this because there's a little homestead beacon outside. But what we're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and swift travel to Bree because I have not done this because I moved my house recently. And then let me show you this trick, okay? So we're going to go to Bree, and we know that Zarlin, my other character's house is technically in Breeland Homestead, right? I can't use my fast travels that go to the Thorin's Hall Homestead because it won't help me. Now, if Zarlin had made his house in Thorin's Hall Homestead, it'd be a little more simple. I could teleport there, but then you'd have to walk out of the homestead to choose the right neighborhood. Unless he's in the same neighborhood, then you're solved, right? If you have your alt buy a house in the same neighborhood next to you, then that's not an issue, right? So then we go over here.
Greetings.
And we go to the Breeland Homestead Swift Travel. So that's just going to take us down the road real fast to get there. And then at that point, we need to pick the right neighborhood, right? So you'll need to make sure you know what neighborhood you're in. So if we look at our character here, just to make sure our info on our house, we can see that it is in Dolbridge, Breeland Homestead, okay? Dolbridge is the neighborhood or the realm or the dimension, whatever you want to call it. Every neighborhood has massive amounts of dimensions, all right? So let me show you here. Okay, so now we go up here. Here's the milestone that you could tag with your main character with the milestone skill. I have many milestone skills. You usually just start with 1. You can buy them. They go on sale sometimes. I don't think there's a limit to milestone skills. There's also skills that are direct locations. And if you watched my video on milestones, I believe I have one. I think I do. It's been a while. You can use, there's 2 upgrades you can get to make all your milestones and all your race teleports and everything only 5 minutes instead of an hour. It's a huge benefit. So anyway, I could go ahead and make one of these mine. Let's see, I don't actually need all of these. So I think what we'll do is Jarnfast. I'm going to, let's see. After the fields, I'm going to make this one, this house. Okay, so now I could always teleport here if I need to. But then here's the trick. You walk up. It's going to give you the normal going into neighborhoods. I have it favorited already, but you'll have to look it up, find it, and then you can star it, right? I have 2 here starred, and now I'm going to enter Dolbridge, okay? So let's go ahead and enter here. So now we're in Dolbridge. So technically, again, it's not my house with a teleport to it, but when I walk up to it, it should be Zollin standing there because it's the same dimension. That's one, my other character. And I should now be able to use that house. So let's prove it to you right now in this video, okay? And now that I've showed you this, you can replicate how to set this up for yourself, okay? Again, this is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with doing this at all. You know, keep it within reason though, guys, obviously, come on. And again, it's gonna be a lot of work for you because you have to be a really constant player because you have to pay for that upkeep, right? You have to pay for it. And right now, there are so many neighborhoods as you saw on every homestead, and there's so many homesteads, there's just not enough players on the servers to even close to fill them up. Which is fine. I think that's good to have lots of options for people, but again, I don't think you're gonna be having the problem of you're taking it from someone else kind of thing, right? Not anymore. It used to be a thing, but now that houses, if someone goes AFK, the house gets sold and back on the market, and then other stuff goes to their box to collect whenever they get online. It keeps it from just being real people who are playing all the time on and not a bunch of just AFK people who were on 10 years ago kind of thing happening, right? So there's Zollin. He's standing right here. Now, here's the question. Can I decorate? Oh, look at that. I can. Can I open the maintenance thing? Oh, look at that. I can open the maintenance thing. I could even pay. Zollin's going to make me pay for his house because I haven't in a long time. Woo. 3 gold, 420 silver for the next, like, I think it pays like 3 or 4 month gaps, or maybe it's 6 months. I think it's like 6 months. You can pay ahead. And that's in-game money. That's not like real life money you have to pay. By the way, for for premium homes, the nice thing is with premium homes that will make this, what I just showed you, a lot harder for a premium house, is the fact that premium houses they pay with in-game gold too. But if you're a VIP, that premium house fee is free. As long as you're a VIP, you'll never lose the house and it'll always be paid for. That's a really nice bonus. And that is why if you're new a premium house like this system, you could do the same thing with premium homes, right? For one, you're going to be supporting LOTRO doing this. Because if you're buying 4 premium homes in Dol Amroth, both the Rohan homesteads, and in Erebor, and you might even in the new area in the Vales of Anduin, if you get 5 premium houses on 5 different accounts, you will be supporting LOTRO. So that's a good part. I mean, I don't think LOTRO would complain that you're paying that much money, because that would be real life money, right? If to buy a premium home, you'll have to look at the exact amounts, but it's a decent chunk of money. I think it's like 20 or 30 bucks, right, to get the regular amount of rights to buy a premium house. So that means, and not just that, then on your character, your main character, you're gonna have to come and be paying, just like I did here with maintenance, for those premium houses, all of them that you have. Or they, I believe they can also go off market. I know they get locked, but I don't know if you completely, I think what they might do is they might send you back your rights for the house you bought in your inventory if you do forget. But I don't quite know, and I'm not going to test it to find out. So if you know that, leave a comment. If you ever lost your premium house, what do? Do they send you back your rights? Do you just lose your rights that you paid for? How does that work? I would assume they send you back your rights. That's the little things you buy to buy the premium homes. You don't have to worry about that with what I just showed you with the regular housing areas at all. So now I can come in here, I can pay for stuff. I can even give permissions to other people because, again, the owner, I cannot mess with the owner, which is the Zollin. But I can give, my own kinship could come in here. I have full controls on the house. I love how LOTRO has done this. LOTRO has done a fantastic job with this housing system. I like that. I would love to see even more updates to the housing system that are good, but that one I think is really nice. And again, I can open up this chest. I can use this chest, okay? I have a whole video on storage, all right? I want to finish up with this idea and realize if you're having trouble with storage, this is a very good way to increase that, okay? The reason being is what they did with the housing, and again, it says Home of Zollin, right? Not Home of Zollin, because obviously my alt is the one that owns this house. And again, alt has to be on a different account too, or to be on the same server, right? To have the house. And again, it's an account I pay for, the other account too. I use it a lot. So, basically, so you might, if you just want to pour more money into the game and have another VIP account, that'd be another way to easily have a VIP house on the other account that's a premium too. Little side note. But as you can see here, there's housing storage, okay? The nice thing is the housing storage, if we go to Zollin real quick and come in here, let's go ahead and just open up the housing storage for Zollin here. All right. If you notice, it should still be the same, okay? Now, we should both be able to put items in there. So let me just see. This one's bound to account. I should still be able to set it in there because it's my housing storage. So now, if I open up, now here's a little problem, right? He's using, I gotta stop using it. If Zollin opens this up, it is there, but I will not be able to take it because it's bound to another account, all right? Because yes, he's my alt, but he's another account alt, right? Where if I drop something in here and it was another character on my same account, he could pick that up. So you're gonna have to remember this stuff with the bound stuff, right? You have to think about that ahead. But as you can see, the housing storage is the same for both of us. It's 60 slots. I believe it can be increased. Yes, we can add space. So basically, he has it maxed out there. Another thing that's important to remember too is the let me make sure I'm telling you guys this correctly. Now that we're talking about the storage a little bit here. Now, by the way, you're set. You're set. You know how to do it now if you want to have multiple houses. That was the whole point of this video. Boy, do I have a video for you. VeggieTales. No, wrong thing. But yeah. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe. This did help you out, and you gotta hit the road. But let me show you one more trick, if you do have time here, to show you a little bit about the storage stuff. Now, one thing with my character too is Zollin, is I actually own a couple other kinship houses, okay? So this is another thing you could technically do. It's a lot of work, but the way they've made it now, you can basically, one character can create a kinship and be in that kinship. It used to be you had to like 10. I think it was a great update. The Standing Stones did that and made it where you could have more than one character. I mean, you could have only one character hold your kinship down. It was kind of annoying when you couldn't get enough people or alts, so you had to leave all these dead alts in a kinship or something to hold it. But as you can see here, I can open this vault.
What can I do for
and
you?
This vault is different. Let me just double check
What
though.
can I do for you?
For I just want to see the storage capacity. I think they changed something. Capacity not available. I'm wondering why it's saying this. I'll give it a second here. All right, the vault is still the same amount. Shared storage.
What can I do for you?
Let's just add a item to the shared storage. You must first purchase. Oh, you know what? I don't have shared storage on this character because my VIP status is off on it. That's why. Okay, real quick. You get the shared storage with VIP stuff. But if you noticed, I did get 60 slots from a house. So if you're someone that's having trouble with storage issues, you guys, this is a huge way to gain storage. If you have an alt who can buy another small, tiny, little standard house that you're paying for, that will be an extra amount of room. And that and separate, so you can use that as extra storage. That's the same thing with the kinship houses. All their storage is individual. Okay, so just so you can realize what Zollin has here. Again, this is many years of my work. This is why I have so many of these things. Just a side note. So I have, again, you saw shared storage. I have my wardrobe. Those come with the VIP, paying for subscription. Then you have your regular vault, which you can increase over time. Then you have your personal house storage, which again is wherever your personal house is located. Mine is in that, right, Thorns Hall. And then you can have your premium house. There is, I believe, a shared thing that happens between your premium house has its own personal storage, and it also has a little bit of it has your shared storage, I believe, hooked to it as well as a convenience thing, which is kind of nice when you're there. So you don't have to go to a horse person and that kind of thing. And let's see, is this, all right, so for sale. I thought I had a kinship house here. I'm not sure. I may not have paid for it enough. We'll find out. And it may actually be in my other neighborhood now that I'm thinking about it. So I'll show you that right now. Excuse me. Thank you for your patience, by the way. Just wanted to double check here. Okay, yeah, so it's not this. I do not own it in this neighborhood. We need to go to the other neighborhood. That's why I had the other one start as well. So I will show you. We'll go in and out real quick, and I will show you that. So again, all the kinship houses have separate storage, so you have the same account, and you have 4 different characters that all have a kinship, and they all get rank 7. They can all buy a kinship house, and you can buy those all in the same neighborhood if you wanted to. If you can find a neighborhood that has them all, you're probably going to find it because there's so many neighborhoods now. There's a lot of free space, okay? I think we need a Cranworth. I think this is where I actually have my kinship houses. So basically, once you have, you could do that, and or you can have alt characters to make another one and give permissions to your main character to use on a different account, and you can use the storage then, right? Taught off, there we go. Home of friends of mine, okay. Well, I will have to figure this out later, but I need to check my other characters. Maybe my kinship houses have been escrowed, because I have not checked in a long time. That would be kind of hilarious. But this is a good learning experience, everyone. This is a nice place. This is definitely not mine. It's a good learning experience though, everybody. Make sure you're checking your alt accounts, because this is what happens. So, but again, I think it's good that Standing Stones does that, because if they didn't do that, if people did buy up a bunch of homes, and then now that neighborhood's just filled forever, and that maybe that person stops playing and hasn't played in 10 years. I'm someone who has played pretty consistently since the beginning of the game, so that's not an issue with me. I use it all the time. But it is, I remember being really annoyed back when the game first started when you just couldn't find a house. Everything was full, and it was really frustrating. So let's just open this escrow guy. Nope, he's not got anything. I'd probably have to go to my characters that are the leaders of the other kinships to make sure that is the case. So we may be able to do a different separate video on that as a learning experience video. But I think we've covered this subject pretty soundly on the main point of this video, which was how do you get more houses? And again, you can do the same thing with the kinships on your own account with just a character that has a different kinship, right? Again, my character here is Zollin Ironshield, and your kinship will never get erased if you're not on that character, mind you. But your kinship house, if you don't pay for it, all your stuff will be sent to you, whoever is the leader of that kinship, which is some of my alts. And you could rebuy a kinship house, because your kinship would still be rank 10 or rank 7 or whatever it was. It won't go away. That's a nice thing. So anyway, you should never lose anything with the regular housings. So if you're going to do it, I wouldn't buy like the fancy premium houses with kinships. Not to mention that would be astronomical because they're so expensive for one person. It's supposed to be for a kinship. So, everyone pitches in a few points. And you have 20, 30 people pitch in, then you're all paying like maybe $1, to get it or whatever. That kind of thing. So, all right, my friends, thanks for watching. Baruch Hazad Kuzari menu. Thank you to my Patreons for their support. Subscribe button's there. I might have a little separate video if I did get my other kinship houses on escrow. We'll find out. And another episode of Voice of the Rings. Be kind of funny to see that. Up there is another guide. Might be after this. Maybe, who knows. And over there is a LOTRO tale. I do voiceovers in the Lord of the Rings Online. Stay happy, my friends, and have a great and wonderful day in Middle-earth. And thank you for your patience for that little minute of thinking in the middle there. See ya.